Hello and welcome to the Arachnophiles, and today we've got some issues with our little friends behind us to sort, so let's get into it. Hello, this is I, Matt. Welcome to the Arachnophiles again, and welcome to the shelves. Today's jobs are going to include getting rid of some flies. Rushdie's got a few too many friends in there for her and my liking. They're not dangerous, they're not foreign flies or anything parasitic. They can't make anyone ill or damage the health of the other spiders at all, or the scorpions. Everyone's going to be fine. They're just annoying, aesthetically unpleasing, and I want them gone. So we're going to get them put at bay. While we're at it, we're going to cut her. We're going to grab a few cuttings from her plant. So we're going to propagate this hothouse at the back and this Theraphosa. And we do the same for this one in Nix's, the Theraphosa apophysis. We're going to see if we can get this one out of Squidge's. That's the other Arachnophiles female, because she has decimated that since she's been in there. She sits on top of it and eats her food. She climbs all over it, and she's a big heavy girl still. She's not Rushdie's size, but she's a good 6+ inch spider, so it wasn't a very big plant and it suffered quite badly. So we're going to drag that out, and then later on we can replace it with the propagated plants from the other one. So we'll grab a stem from each one, about this long at least, with at least 4 leaves on. We're then going to remove those bottom 2 leaves, and then we'll plant them in a sphagnum moss pot. Damp sphagnum moss covering those 2 exposed nodes that we tear the leaves away from will then encourage new roots to develop. Once those new roots have developed to a good 2 inches plus or so, we can then replant them in potting soil, and we can establish those plants. And once those plants are fully established, we can then repropagate from those established plants again. So we'll have a nice steady stream of new free plants, which I want to do with these ones in particular, because I really like the bright pinks and greens that you get with these 2 especially. These pothouse plants just green everything up. They grow really easily. They're not too picky about how much light they get. You don't have to water them a lot. Once a month is fine, once every couple of weeks at most. And to get rid of the flies, once we've done that, we won't be watering those plants as often as we have been. So we're going to leave them alone for a month. Let the top layer of the substrate completely dry out, and then that will hinder the larvae in the deeper parts of the substrate from getting up to the top and getting to fly stage and releasing from the substrate and bothering our girl and myself. So we'll do that. We're also going to feed at least half of these tarantulas. The scorpions have eaten, but it's about 1 o'clock in the morning, so I couldn't really get good footage of that, I'm afraid. One day when I have a better camera, better lights, a black light maybe, we can do nighttime feedings and get those eating as well. But they don't tend to eat in broad light, so it's hard to open the lid, shine a light on them, and then feed a scorpion without annoying it, sadly. The other piece of news is my partner Charlie and I took a quick trip to Ipswich and had a little look around Viking Aquatics yesterday, and her steely eye, I missed it, spotted this little beauty. And as I've been a very good boy this year, it became my early Christmas present on the spot. Shout out to Charlie, love you, and a hello to this little one. So that's the Carabina versicolor, or the Antilles or Martinique Pinto. It's a 2 centimetre just over, because she molted just before we bought her, about a week before we went in there yesterday. She molted out, and the molt was in there, so we popped that out. And as you can see, she's got a nice little fat bum because she had 2 crickets with us last night. So she's settling in well. There will be a rehouse with her. But yeah, something to look forward to. There you go, she's doing a little move for you. So yeah, I can recommend Viking Aquatics. I've had a couple of spiders from them in the past. That's where we got Nandu chromatus from, Zenobi. A lovely new addition. I'll pop her back on the shelf. And we'll also have a little look at the cricket keeper I set up. For those of you that have never looked after your crickets, you just buy the tubs and chuck them in. Nothing wrong with that. But if you did want to keep them a bit more healthy and feed them up, we're going to show you a quick and easy setup for that as well. So, should be a good video. Okay, so here we are back at the desk, and we're just going to grab some of this sphagnum moss and set up those pots for the propagation of the plants we're going to cut before we get Rushdie's tank and the other 2 up here. So we'll do that really quickly, it doesn't take very long. So just shove a nice amount and fill the pots up. So stuff a good amount in each one, just fill them up nice and tight. Make a little dent in the middle just so you can pop your stem in that, and then you can cover it up fully once it's been popped in. And we've got a little one as well, because one of the cuttings will be smaller than the others. and then just give it a really good spray and really soak it down. You can do this in water, just a vase or a glass of water with the same cuttings, so there's two nodes exposed like I was saying before. However, when you transfer them from the water into potting soil, I've read that they can struggle a bit more to then establish in the soil if they've only had water before. Whereas sphagnum moss is a better way to train the root development so that it takes more when you put them in those pots. So that should do for them. We'll let them soak down. And we just put them in that little empty Braplast tub, just so we don't have to worry about any dirt or water dripping off. When you're planting them, just keep them neater and then you can just pop them where you want. Done. Right, tanks time. Right, here we are. Here's Rusty, the big girl. I doubt you'll be able to see from there, but just along this little back break, she's got lots of those little flies just hanging there, which is kind of handy because I wait for them to build up and then I can kill a lot of them at once. But doing that every night, just lifting the lid up, it stresses her out if I drop the lid a bit by accident or something. She doesn't like that, so I try not to do it like that. So I just want this problem dealt with quickly. So the best way to do that, as I say, is to get in there, remove as many things as we can see that definitely have the flies in them, eliminate those ones, and then we'll just stop watering the plants after we take those cuttings for the propagation. We'll let that completely dry out everywhere we can. We won't water the plants for a month. We will only fill the water dish up halfway instead of completely overfilling it to keep the humid end moist. And then that dry barrier that it creates at the top should stop them being able to develop through and then get airborne and mess up my tank. Rusty's not a big fan of me opening this lid because of the glass. It does make a bit of a noise and she does tend to go a bit scatty sometimes. So I'll do it as quietly as I can, but it's a YouTube video after all, so we'll see what happens. Right, so I've just brought you around that side, get a better view. So, as I say, we're going to need to cut her because she's a big girl and she will be in my way and I've got quite a lot to do in there. So, big catch cup time and big catch cup lid time. A lot of people have big catch cups, but they don't have a big catch cup lid, which always makes me laugh. First of all, let's open this side where she isn't. There we go. She does need feeding. Could distract her with a cricket and we get to see a feeding clip at the same time. Let's do that, shall we? And while we're doing that, this is the cricket keeper that I set up that I was talking about. It's literally just a critter keeper with the crickets chucked in there, and they have those little tubs of cricket feed, much like the stuff you get in the pots you buy. I will be popping some carrot and apple in there because they actually will eat that and get very healthy and gut loaded from it. And these guys have been munching on the water balls, which they have now finished, so we'll give them a few more of those. Let's take this lid off and see if she minds. She does not. Good girl. Now she's a big girl, so we're going to give her a big cricket, keep her nice and occupied while we snip stuff around her. One down, thank you my dear. Get another one because she's a big girl. All the crickets are big dicks. Right, that's her occupied. What I might try and do, have a little wander with it there. Right, so now I need to cut her and move her. But I want her to go in, if I can, into her hide, and then I can block her off. Look, she's a big girl. So we're gonna need a bigger boat. She's not gonna like this, not a lot. So, you stay there, Rush. So that plant there, need at least 4 leaves. Okay, I'm gonna snip from that, I think. Right, Rusty is being a very kind girl. She's going downstairs, which is where we want her. So we'll let her do that. While she's doing that, I will snip off a bit of her plant here that I want the propagation still in. We've got a nice bit here, as you can see. Try and hold that not directly above the tarantula. So that's got plenty of nodes. We can just rip the 2 leaves off the bottom of that and we can replant those. There we go, so we've done that now. And we also want a cutting from the pothouse that she's now moved a bit close to, annoyingly. Plenty of places we can cut that, but I just need to cover her up so that she doesn't freak out on me. So, sorry about this, Rusty. I'm just going to pop you in there for a second, my love. I know. Just stay there and chill. You keep eating, it's fine. So, that has nodes and is plenty long enough. It's not the ideal piece. That piece might be there. There's a big bit here which is very tall with nodes at the bottom, so I'm going to have that too. So you see how she's gone in her hide now, she's quite happy. There we go. Right, that's a much better bit. There we go, see, so we can pull this node off and there's a good root already growing on that, you see, so we're going to pop that in. Right, so there's our 3 propagated bits of plant. Right, we're going to make sure we kill as many flies that we can see while she's in the cup. That's at least 20 dead there. Okay, so we've propagated, fed, Now we're going to just check under a few things to see if we can see a lot of these flies somewhere. So we want to let that substrate dry out on the top layer, as I said before. And quickly, just so you can see one. Right there is one of our little isopod friends, dairy cow isopod. If you're not sure what I'm pointing at there, it's this little guy. There he goes. Cleanup crew. So he's had a bit too much work for himself to do, so we're going to give him some friends in the form of some extra springtails. I'm going to remove some of this sphagnum moss from on top because a lot of those flies came with that sphagnum moss, like I said. They're not harmful, they're not forage flies, like I say, they're not parasitic or anything, but they are a pain in the ass. So we'll get rid of as many of them as we can that we see. I don't want to get that web off the glass because it's annoying me anyway. Some guys here that can get squished. I don't enjoy squishing things, but when my spider is getting annoyed with them, then it's kind of my duty to get rid of them, I'm afraid, but we'll do it in the kindest way possible, nice and quick. I'm not using anything like insecticides, obviously, because that will kill your spider, so don't think, I've got flies in my tank, spiders are arachnids, not insects, I'll use insecticide. It doesn't work like that. If it can kill a bee, it can probably kill or damage your tarantula, so just don't. We're going to put some more of these guys in. These are the springtails. You see the little white guys running around in there? Those are the springtails. So they eat decaying matter, lots of it. So we'll pop more of them in. A little bit in this corner here, a little load in that corner there, all the way at the back there as well, near a hide. See, there's just a lot of organic matter in this substrate, which is perfect, that's what you want. But when friends get introduced by accident, it means that they're not going to have any issues breeding and surviving because this tank is literally set up to support them doing that. All we need to do is eliminate them and let the bits they need to be moist, i.e. the top of the substrate, dry out. And get loads of these little friends in here to help us out with that. I'm not going to miss any bits out. I'm going to leave that little dry bit there. So obviously it's a bit moist what they're coming in because they need that to survive in there. That will dry out in turn as well. So this isn't an instant fix, this is the start of a fix. As I say, we're not watering the plants now, so we'll just top our water up there and then we can uncup her. That's it, we're just going to fill that up halfway. Perfect, now we can uncup her, pop her lids back on, pop her back on the shelf. Okay, next up is Nyx, the Theraphosa apophysis. Wish me luck. Right, again, this one needs feeding, so it's feeding clip time. Yes, it is. Somebody might not be hungry. Interesting. I'm not sure if she just did a little hiss then. Curious. Right, well this is a development because pruning her plants might not be as easy as I first thought. So we might need to cup her too, but she's a bit awkward to cup because of the way she's dug her hide out, as in she hasn't used her hide. The more I'm looking at her, the more I think she's in pre-molt. And after she's ignoring those crickets, which is not like a Theraphosa, pretty certain that's what's going on. What I might do is just leave this girl be. If she doesn't eat those tonight, I'll take those crickets out, but I don't think I'm going to piss her off tonight. So instead, let's just close her lid and laugh at how she runs around like a big twat. Apparently she did not. Okay, there you go. Alright, next we'll leave you be. You're clearly not in the mood. Okay, time for Squidge, the younger, slightly smaller female Basiodora parahabana. She also needs feeding today, and is also, she's got a couple of friends, but she just needs a plant pulling out. She doesn't have a massive problem with the flies. So, but we do need to feed her, and keep her occupied, and then trap her in a hide, and do exactly what we did with Rushdie. So we'll get her to go in. Okay. Boom. There's another one. Lovely. So now what we can do is cup her as well. Job's a good one. Come on, love. All the way in. Right, now I can just rip that plant out. Because that's dead. Good-o. What I'm going to do is, while I've got that hole exposed, I'm going to pop some springtails in there, and then they can get to work. Not bothered because she's got a face full of crickets. That fills up that little space in the substrate I've made there as well. There we go. Yeah, you can flick it all you want, love. I'm not near you. You can't get me. That's the other reason you do that with these spiders, especially because LPs do have horrible hairs. So you don't really want to get them on you. I'm not too sensitive to them, but a lot of people are. So I've got quite lucky. It's only brachypelma hairs that really bother me that much, to be honest. So she's fed and all covered up there, so we can grab a water dish, which is on a little web mat she's put down and give that a quick rinse out. Right, that's all done, so we can just uncup her now. We don't want it to flick too many hairs, so hopefully we just turn it up. Do it slowly enough, she'll realise she can walk off. And off she walks. There we go. And that's Squidge, like I say, she's the younger, that's the Adora Caravan. She's about 6.5 inches. And Rushdie's just over 8, not quite 8.5. She'll probably smash an iron on the next mock. But this one is her younger cousin, so she was a sling when I got Rushdie as a juvenile. Lovely. Right, next. Okay, Nandu Chromatus Zenobi. Not much to do for her other than feed her. We want to get the crap off that plant because she's buried her Fatonia. So she's just in her burrow down there. So while she's in her burrow down there, I'll grab her water, pop it back in and fill it up. Now she doesn't have any of the fly friends, luckily. She's not as close to Rushdie's, who has the most of them, so I think not enough of them have made them into her parlour, as it were. Alright, we'll see if we can... You know what, I'm just going to chuck them. There you go, she's gone. Sometimes you just have to do David Beckham and curl it to them. Right, so now we can crack on with what we want to do. Literally just that plant, so I'm just going to pop that over her burrow so I know she can't come flying out of me if she feels like it. Not that she will now she's fed. And we'll get rid of all the crap and just uncover this plant. And even out the substrate around it a bit. Right, lovely. Water, as I said I would do, nearly forgot. Not overfilled. We're going to treat it the same as Rushdie and we want to keep it dry so none of those flies can breed too well in there. That's all done. So that's 4 spiders tended to, fed, watered, and little maintenance jobs done, and 3 propagated plants. Not a bad day's work. Alright, so we can pop her back on the shelf, lovely. Okay. Feeding. 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 Right, I have fed this one. This is the Ornithoptonus species Uthaithani, the dancing earth tiger, old world, Asian tarantula, burrower. That's the best we'll get to see of her, I'm afraid, because she doesn't really come out to eat if it's bright. I try and feed her on camera, but it never really works. I just have to chuck them in there and wait for her to come out and hunt it overnight. But we tried. At least you got to see her legs and her burrow, so right. Next. Right, next is Bruce or Whitney, the little champ Whitney. We think he might be going into pre-molt. We'll see if he eats anything. You can't see him. He's just there, look. Oh, I don't think he's hungry. I'm going to take that out. Yeah, he's not hungry. Okay, we have a little baby Whitney in pre-molt. That'll be his second one with us. Sweet. All right, we won't bother him then. We will just fill his water up and leave that little guy be until he molts. Oh, a little cricket next to him. We'll just double check he doesn't go for that one. Nope, he's not biting. Right, nighty night, Bruce. Happy molting, mate. Right, time for the tea sturmy to be fed as well. Here he is. There we go, no problems there. Because he's a big lad, or a big girl we hope, chuck him another one in there as well. There we go. Tongue feeding the Theraphosa. Big lad. As you can see, he's not shy to eat on camera at all. What a champ. Right, pop his lid back on. Right, time to feed Zebra and Eden. Zebra and Eve. Thank you, I know, the name's amazing. Time to feed this little one. See if we can get a good tongue feed from him, can we? There we go. And he can have another because he's a young growing boy. Well, that cricket wasn't keen, was he? There we go. Nice. That's Zebra all finished and fed. And that concludes our little session today. Alright, lovely. Well, that's everything we wanted to do done. So Rushdie's flies have been decimated and everything's going to dry out now. We propagated our plants from the tanks like we said we would. Got rid of the dead one that was looking poor and pathetic in Squidge's Komodo. And we fed a few spiders too. Lovely. Please don't forget to do all that good stuff. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe and also leave a comment if you like the video. Let me know. Thanks for watching. See you next time on the Arachnophiles. Bye bye.